Captain Diana Hayes stood before the Galactic Council, her jaw set in defiance, as laughter echoed through the grand chamber. The holographic image of the USS Echo hovered in the center, its rusted hull and retrofitted parts a stark contrast to the sleek alien vessels. She could feel the condescension from the gathered representatives of the galaxy's most powerful species. "This rust bucket is our only hope," an alien delegate with gleaming silver skin sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. Hayes's eyes narrowed. "We'll see who's laughing when the Echo hits faster than light." The chamber fell silent, the mocking grins fading as the implication of her words sank in. She turned to face the council, her gaze unwavering. The Echo, an old Earth warship, was more than a relic. It was a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. "The USS Echo," Hayes began, her voice steady, "is equipped with an artifact of unknown origin. During a routine patrol, we discovered it embedded within the ship's hull. This artifact grants us capabilities that surpass our current understanding of physics." A murmur rippled through the assembly. The Kaldor ambassador, a towering figure with shimmering scales, stepped forward. "Captain Hayes, are you suggesting that this antiquated vessel can surpass our most advanced ships?" Hayes met his gaze. "Precisely, and we have the proof." She gestured to her chief engineer, Malik, who activated a control panel. The hologram of the Echo shimmered and transformed into a real-time feed. The audience watched in stunned silence as the Echo's engines flared with an ethereal blue light. The ship vanished from the screen, only to reappear moments later, miles away from its original position. "How is this possible?" An ambassador from the Alarian Confederacy gasped. Malik stepped forward, his voice confident. "The artifact, embedded within the Echo, generates a unique field that manipulates space-time. We've achieved faster-than-light travel without the need for conventional FTL drives." The Kaldor ambassador's eyes narrowed. "If what you say is true, this technology should be in the hands of those who can understand and control it. We demand the immediate surrender of the USS Echo and the artifact." Hayes clenched her fists. "The Echo is an Earth vessel, and the artifact was found on a mission sanctioned by the Galactic Council. We have every right to study and utilize it." A heated debate erupted among the council members, their voices overlapping in a cacophony of indignation and curiosity. Hayes remained silent, her mind racing. The Kaldor were known for their relentless pursuit of advanced technology. If they got their hands on the artifact, humanity's place in the galaxy would be jeopardized. The council chairman, a wise and ancient being with translucent skin, raised his hand for silence. "Enough," he commanded. "We will convene privately to discuss this matter. Captain Hayes, you and your crew are to remain here until a decision is reached." Hayes nodded, turning on her heel and leading her team out of the chamber. In the hallway, she paused, glancing back at Malik and her science officer, Liu. "We need to prepare," she said, her voice low. "The Kaldor won't wait for the council's decision. They'll come for us, and we need to be ready." Malik nodded. "I'll run diagnostics on the artifact and ensure our defenses are up to par." Liu frowned. "We still don't fully understand the artifact's capabilities. Pushing it too hard could be dangerous." "We don't have a choice," Hayes replied, determination hardening her features. "We either master this technology or risk losing everything." Back on the Echo, the crew buzzed with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Hayes made her way to the bridge, her mind focused on the task ahead. She had always believed in humanity's potential, and now, more than ever, they needed to prove their worth. Hours later, an alert blared through the ship. "Captain, we have incoming ships," reported Ensign Rise, her voice tight with tension. On screen, Hayes ordered. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a squadron of Kaldor warships. Hayes's heart pounded. They were here, just as she had predicted. "Open a channel," she commanded. A stern Kaldor face filled the screen. Captain Hayes, surrender the Echo and the artifact immediately, or face the consequences. Hayes squared her shoulders. This is an Earth vessel, and we will defend it with our lives if necessary. The Kaldor commander's eyes flashed with anger. Very well. Prepare to be boarded. The transmission cut off, and Hayes turned to her crew. Battle stations. Activate the artifact and prepare for evasive maneuvers. As the Echo's engines roared to life, the artifact pulsed with energy, its blue light filling the ship with an otherworldly glow. The Kaldor ships closed in, weapons primed. Hayes's fingers danced over the controls, her mind sharp and focused. Engage FTL, she ordered. In an instant, the Echo surged forward, leaving the Kaldor fleet behind. The ship shuddered as it broke through the fabric of space, reappearing in a distant sector. The crew erupted in cheers, but Hayes remained vigilant. "This is just the beginning," she said, her voice resolute. "We need to unlock the artifact's full potential if we're going to survive." Captain Diana Hayes stood on the bridge of the USS Echo, her eyes scanning the holographic display that projected the surrounding starfield. The remnants of the Galactic Council's laughter still echoed in her mind, but now the stakes were real. The Kaldor had issued their ultimatum, and the Echo was on high alert. "Captain, we've got incoming," Lieutenant Malik reported from the engineering console, his voice tense. "Kaldor scout ship, closing fast. Raise shields and prepare for evasive maneuvers," Hayes ordered, her tone steady. "Let's show them what this rust buckets can do." The Echo's crew sprang into action. Ensign Liu, the ship's science officer, focused intently on the artifact embedded within the hull. "The artifact's energy levels are fluctuating, Captain. It seems to respond to our intentions." "Good. We might need every bit of that power," Hayes replied. "Prepare to engage the FTL drive on my mark." The Kaldor scout ship appeared on the main display, a sleek and menacing vessel designed for speed and precision. It fired a warning shot, its energy beams sizzling against the Echo's shields. "Captain, they're hailing us," Communications Officer Patel said, her voice cutting through the tension. On screen, Hayes commanded. The holographic image of Commander Volta, the Kaldor leader, filled the bridge. His cold eyes glared at Hayes with contempt. "Captain Hayes, surrender the artifact and your ship immediately, or be destroyed." Hayes met his gaze without flinching. "Commander Volta, this artifact is now part of the Echo. We won't be surrendering anything." Volta's lips curled into a sneer. "Then prepare to face the might of the Kaldor." The transmission cut off, and the scout ship launched a barrage of missiles. Hayes gripped the armrests of her chair. "All hands, brace for impact." The Echo shuddered under the assault, but its shields held. "Malik, initiate evasive maneuvers. Liu, keep monitoring the artifact. We need it to work with us." The ship veered sharply to starboard, dodging incoming fire. The artifact glowed brighter, its energy infusing the Echo's systems. Suddenly, the ship surged forward with a speed that defied its appearance, weaving through space with unexpected agility. "We're outpacing them, Captain," Malik exclaimed, a hint of triumph in his voice. Hayes allowed herself a small smile. "Let's keep them guessing. Prepare to engage the FTL drive." "FTL drive ready," Liu confirmed. "Coordinates locked." "Engage," Hayes ordered. The Echo's engines roared to life, and the ship disappeared in a flash of light. A moment later, they reappeared several light-years away, leaving the Kaldor scout ship behind. "Report," Hayes said, her voice calm but firm. "We're clear of the scout ship," Patel said, relief evident in her tone. "No sign of pursuit for now." Hayes nodded. "Good work, everyone. But this isn't over. The Kaldor will be back, and they'll bring more than a scout ship next time." Liu looked up from her console, concern etched on her face. "Captain, we need to understand this artifact better if we're going to survive the next encounter. It's clearly powerful, but we're only scratching the surface of its capabilities." Hayes agreed. All right, let's get to work. Malik, I want you to run a full diagnostic on our systems and see how the artifact is integrating with our technology. Lou, focus on deciphering the artifact's functions. We need to know exactly what we're dealing with. Hours passed as the crew delved into their tasks, the tension on the ship a palpable reminder of the looming threat. Malik and his team worked tirelessly in engineering, while Lou and her assistants pored over data in the science lab. As night fell, the ship's atmosphere remained charged with urgency. Hayes took a moment to walk the corridors, offering words of encouragement to her crew. She found Malik in engineering, his face illuminated by the soft glow of a diagnostic screen. "Any progress?" she asked. Malik looked up, his eyes weary but determined. "The artifact is fascinating, Captain. It's not just powering our systems, it's enhancing them. Our shields, weapons, even our propulsion, are operating at levels far beyond their design specs." Hayes nodded. "And the risks?" Malik sighed. "We're pushing the limits of what we understand. The artifact's energy fluctuations could destabilize if we push it too hard. But so far, it's holding steady." In the science lab, Liu's team was equally engrossed. She greeted Hayes with a hopeful smile. "Captain, I think we've made a breakthrough. The artifact seems to have a resonance with our ship's systems. It's almost as if it's learning from us, adapting to our needs." "Can we control it?" Hayes asked, her mind racing with possibilities. "We're getting there," Liu replied. "With more data, we can start to predict its behavior and harness its full potential." Hayes felt a surge of hope. "Excellent work. Keep at it. We don't have much time before the Kaldor return." As Hayes returned to the bridge, Patel intercepted her with urgent news. "Captain, we've received a distress signal from a human colony. They're under attack by the Kaldor." Hayes's resolve hardened. "Set a course for the colony. We can't let them fall." The Echo's engines roared to life once more, the ship surging forward with a newfound purpose. Hayes addressed her crew over the intercom. "All hands, prepare for battle. We're heading into the fray, and we'll need every ounce of ingenuity and courage we have." As the Echo streaked through space, Hayes couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. The Kaldor underestimated humanity, but they were about to learn that resilience and innovation were powerful weapons. The Echo was ready to prove its worth, and Hayes was determined to lead her crew to victory. The colony's coordinates appeared on the main display, and the Echo emerged from FTL travel, facing a scene of chaos. Kaldor ships swarmed the colony, their weapons raining destruction on the helpless civilians. "Engage targets," Hayes commanded. "Let's show them what the Echo can do." Captain Diana Hayes stood on the bridge of the USS Echo, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. The besieged human colony shimmered in the holographic projection, surrounded by the menacing red blips of Kaldor ships. The Echo had arrived just in time, using its alien artifact to leap across light years and arrive at the colony's coordinates. "Activate the artifact," Hayes ordered, her voice steady. "Let's show them what we can do." Chief Engineer Malik's fingers flew over his console. "Engaging now, Captain." A hum filled the bridge as the artifact powered up. The Echo's shields flared to life with a radiant blue glow, absorbing the Kaldor's initial barrage. On screen, the alien ships recoiled, unprepared for the Echo's enhanced defenses. "Fire at will," Hayes commanded. Weapons Officer Ramirez unleashed a volley of laser beams and missiles. The Kaldor ships, sleek and formidable, maneuvered deftly, but the Echo's weapons, bolstered by the artifact's energy, struck true. Explosions dotted the void as several Kaldor ships were disabled. Science Officer Liu monitored the artifact's readings. "The artifact's energy output is stable, Captain. We can maintain this level of power for now." "Good," Hayes replied, her eyes narrowing. "We need to buy the colony more time." On the planet below, the human colony's defensive grid flickered to life, spurred by the Echo's arrival. Ground forces rallied, taking advantage of the respite provided by the ship's intervention. Incoming message from the colony, Communications Officer Jenkins announced. They're requesting immediate support to evacuate civilians. Hayes nodded. Prepare the shuttle bays for launch. Ramirez, cover our shuttles. Liu, keep that artifact stable. We can't afford any surprises. As the shuttles launched towards the planet, the Echo engaged in a deadly dance with the Kaldor fleet. Despite the Echo's enhanced capabilities, the Kaldor adapted quickly. Their ships reformed into tighter attack formations, concentrating their fire on the Echo. Captain, we can't hold this position much longer, Malik warned, sweat beading on his forehead. The artifact's energy fluctuations are becoming harder to control. Hayes clenched her jaw. We need more time. Liu, any luck with those secondary functions? Liu, eyes glued to her console, hesitated. There's something the artifact has another layer of energy manipulation. It might boost our weapons, but I need more time to fully understand it. Time is something we don't have, Hayes replied. Do what you can. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently. An alert blared across the bridge. Direct hit to our aft section. Ramirez reported. We've lost maneuvering thrusters. Divert power to shields and weapons, Hayes ordered. We make our stand here. In the chaos, a transmission crackled through the speakers. This is Commander Volta of the Kaldor fleet. Surrender the artifact, and your lives will be spared. Hayes snorted. Tell Volta he can shove his surrender up his... Message cut off, Jenkins interjected, smirking. Good, Hayes said. Let's show him we're not backing down. The Echo's crew worked with synchronized precision. Malik rerouted power, stabilizing the shields. Ramirez targeted the Kaldor's lead ship, a massive cruiser bristling with weapons. Liu, her fingers trembling, adjusted the artifact settings, attempting to unlock its deeper potential. Captain, Liu said suddenly, I think I've got it. Boosting weapon power now. The Echo's guns flared with newfound intensity. Beams of energy lanced through the void, tearing into the Kaldor cruiser. The alien ship buckled under the onslaught, its shields failing, hull breaching. A cheer erupted on the bridge, but Hayes held up a hand. Don't celebrate yet. We've still got a job to do. More Kaldor ships surged forward, undeterred by their flagship's destruction. The Echo's enhanced firepower met them head-on, but the artifact's energy was waning. Artifact power at critical levels, Liu warned. We have to throttle back or risk a complete meltdown. Hayes made a quick decision. Fall back to the colony's defensive perimeter. We'll use their ground defenses to support our retreat. The Echo maneuvered closer to the planet, its guns still blazing. On the surface, the colony's defense turrets roared to life, adding their firepower to the fray. The combined assault began to turn the tide, pushing the Kaldor back. Shuttles are returning with evacuees, Jenkins reported. We've got as many as we can carry. Good, Hayes said. Malik, prepare for an emergency jump. Liu, keep that artifact from blowing us to bits. As the last shuttle docked, Hayes gave the order. Initiate jump sequence. Get us out of here. The artifact hummed louder, its energy enveloping the ship. Space warped around the Echo as it prepared for FTL travel. Jump in 3, 2, 1. The stars blurred into streaks of light as the Echo surged forward, escaping the battle zone. Moments later, they emerged in a quieter sector of space, the hum of the artifact fading. Status report? Hayes demanded. We made it, Malik confirmed. But the artifact is drained. We need time to recharge and assess the damage. Hayes nodded, sinking into her chair. Good work, everyone. We've bought the colony some time, but this isn't over. Liu approached, holding a datapad. Captain, there's more to this artifact than we realized. I think it's part of a larger network. Hayes raised an eyebrow. A network? Liu nodded. Yes, and if we can find the other pieces, we might unlock even greater capabilities. The bridge of the USS Echo was a hive of activity as the crew prepared for the imminent arrival of the main Caldor fleet. Captain Diana Hayes stood at the center, her gaze steely as she reviewed the tactical displays. Around her, the crew worked with precision and urgency, their faces reflecting a mix of determination and anxiety. "All systems check," Hayes commanded, her voice cutting through the tension. "Shields at maximum capacity," Chief Engineer Malik reported. "Weapon systems online and calibrated. The artifact is stable for now, but it's drawing a lot of power." "Understood," Hayes replied. She turned to Science Officer Liu. "Any more insights on the artifact's capabilities?" Liu shook her head. "We've unlocked a few defensive enhancements, but the energy fluctuations are unpredictable. It could give us an edge, or it could destabilize at the worst possible moment." Hayes nodded, her mind racing through potential scenarios. "We need to be ready for anything. Keep monitoring its output and alert me to any changes." The ship's intercom crackled to life. "Captain, incoming transmission from the Galactic Council," the communications officer announced. "Patch it through," Hayes ordered. The holographic display flickered, and the faces of the council members appeared. Their expressions were grave, reflecting the gravity of the situation. "Captain Hayes," Councillor Varric began, "the Caldor fleet is minutes away. We need to know your plan of action." "We've fortified our position and prepared our defenses," Hayes replied. "The Echo will use the artifact to enhance our capabilities and disrupt the Caldor formation. We need the support of all Allied ships to hold the line." Councillor Varric hesitated. There is considerable debate about the risks involved. Some believe it's too dangerous to rely on untested technology. Hayes's eyes flashed with resolve. "With all due respect, Councillor, this is our best chance. The Caldor won't hesitate to use their full strength against us. We need to show them that humanity can stand up to their might." A murmur ran through the council members. Finally, Varric nodded. "Very well. The Allied fleet will follow your lead. May fortune favor you, Captain." The transmission ended, and Hayes turned back to her crew. "You heard them. Let's show the galaxy what we're made of." As the Caldor fleet emerged from hyperspace, the Echo's sensors lit up with alerts. Dozens of sleek, deadly ships filled the display, their weapons trained on the Echo and its allies. "Here they come," Tactical Officer Ramirez said, tension evident in his voice. "All hands, battle stations," Hayes ordered. "Engage the artifact." The artifact, embedded deep within the Echo's hull, began to hum with a low, resonant frequency. Energy surged through the ship's systems, causing the lights to flicker and the deck to vibrate. On the view screen, the Caldor ships moved into attack formation. "Fire at will," Hayes commanded. The Echo's weapons roared to life, beams of energy and missiles streaking towards the Caldor fleet. The artifact's enhancements boosted the firepower, making each shot more potent than ever before. Caldor ships reeled under the assault, but they quickly regrouped and returned fire. Explosions rocked the Echo as enemy blasts struck the shields. Malik's hands flew over his console, diverting power and rerouting systems to keep the defenses up. "Shields holding, but we can't take much more of this." "Liu, status on the artifact?" Hayes demanded. "It's reaching critical levels," Liu warned. "We might need to shut it down to prevent a meltdown." Hayes clenched her jaw. "Not yet. We need every advantage we can get." Amid the chaos, a smaller Caldor ship broke through the defensive line, heading straight for the Echo. "Incoming. They've breached our perimeter," Ramirez shouted. "Prepare for close combat," Hayes ordered. "All crew to defensive positions." The Caldor ship latched onto the Echo with magnetic grapples, and boarding pods began to drill through the hull. Hayes grabbed a sidearm and joined the security team at the breach point. The air was thick with tension as the hiss of cutting tools grew louder. The breach gave way, and Caldor warriors poured into the corridor. Hayes and her team opened fire, the confined space erupting with flashes of light and the sounds of combat. Despite their superior technology, the Kaldor were taken aback by the ferocity and coordination of the human defenders. "Push them back," Hayes shouted, advancing with her team. The battle was brutal and intense, but the Echo's crew held their ground. Slowly, they forced the Kaldor back towards their boarding pods. A well-placed shot from Hayes hit a control panel, causing the pods to detach and sending the remaining invaders hurtling into space. "Boarding party neutralized," Hayes reported, breathing heavily. "Malik, status on the artifact?" "It's stabilizing," Malik said. "We managed to vent some of the excess energy. We should be able to maintain current output." "Good," Hayes said, returning to the bridge. "All ships, regroup and focus fire on the Kaldor flagship. Let's take them down." The Allied fleet, inspired by the Echo's resilience, rallied and concentrated their attacks. The Kaldor flagship shuddered under the combined assault, its shields flickering and failing. With a final barrage from the Echo, the flagship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. Cheers erupted across the bridge. Hayes allowed herself a brief smile before refocusing. "We're not done yet. Secure the area and prepare for any remaining hostiles." As the battle wound down, Hayes looked out at the field of debris and the retreating Kaldor ships. The Echo had not only survived, but had turned the tide of battle. "Captain," Lou said, her voice filled with respect, "we did it." The USS Echo trembled as the alien artifact's power surged uncontrollably, creating spatial distortions that rippled through the ship. Captain Diana Hayes gripped the edge of her command chair, her face set with determination. "Chief Engineer Malik, report. Artifact overload imminent, Captain." "Systems are failing across the board," Malik shouted over the blaring alarms, sweat streaming down his face as he frantically worked the controls. Captain Hayes made a snap decision: evacuate all non-essential personnel. "Engineering team, stay with me. We're going to stabilize this thing." The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency. Lieutenant Lou, the science officer, remained at his station, his fingers dancing over the console as he attempted to interface with the alien technology. "Lou, can you give me anything?" Hayes asked, her voice tight but controlled. "We're running out of time, Captain," Lou replied, his eyes never leaving the screen. "The artifact's energy output is fluctuating beyond our ability to control it." "But wait." He paused, his brow furrowing in concentration. "There's a pattern, a sequence. I think it's trying to communicate." Hayes nodded sharply. "Malik, get me a direct link to the artifact. Leo, guide me through the sequence." The ship's frame shuddered violently as Malik established the connection. "We're linked, Captain, but it's unstable. This could either stabilize the artifact or destroy us all." "No choice but to try," Hayes said, her voice resolute. "Leo, what's the sequence?" Leo quickly relayed the information, his voice calm and steady despite the chaos around them. Hayes followed his instructions meticulously, her hands moving with precision. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the distortions began to coalesce into a controlled field. The Echo's trembling subsided as the artifact's energy stabilized, its pulsating glow becoming steady. "It's working," Malik said, his voice filled with awe. "The artifact is stabilizing." A collective sigh of relief swept through the bridge. Captain Hayes allowed herself a moment to breathe. "Good work, everyone. Now, let's show the Kaldor what this ship can really do." The Echo, now fully harnessing the artifact's power, moved with unprecedented speed and agility. On the tactical display, the Kaldor fleet, which had been poised to deliver a final blow, suddenly found themselves on the defensive. "Captain, the Kaldor are regrouping for a final assault," Lieutenant Carter, the tactical officer, reported. "Their flagship is targeting us." Hayes narrowed her eyes. "We won't give them the chance. All hands, Prepare for counter-offensive maneuvers. Liu, can we amplify the artifact's output for a decisive strike? Liu hesitated, then nodded. Yes, but it will push the artifact to its limits. We risk another overload. We don't have a choice, Hayes said firmly. Do it. The Echo surged forward, the artifact's energy coursing through its systems. The ship weaved through the Kaldor formation with precision, its weapons unleashing devastating barrages that tore through enemy ships. On the view screen, the Kaldor flagship loomed large. Target the flagship's propulsion systems, Hayes ordered. Let's cripple their mobility. The Echo's railguns and missile launchers fired in unison, striking the Kaldor flagship's engines. Explosions rippled along its hull as it began to lose speed and maneuverability. Direct hit, Captain, Carter exclaimed. Their engines are offline. Hayes didn't waste a moment. All power to the main cannons. Let's finish this. The Echo's main cannons charged, the artifact's energy focusing into a single powerful beam. The ship shuddered with the force of the discharge as the beam lanced out, striking the Kaldor flagship. The alien vessel's shields flared briefly before collapsing, the beam cutting through its hull and igniting its core. A massive explosion enveloped the Kaldor flagship, sending shockwaves through space. The remaining Kaldor ships, seeing their flagship's destruction, began to retreat. They're falling back. Malik shouted, his voice triumphant. Hayes allowed herself a rare smile. We did it. All ships, cease fire and hold position. The bridge erupted in cheers, the crew celebrating their hard-won victory. Hayes took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. They had not only survived, but had proven humanity's resilience and ingenuity. A communication alert chimed, and the holographic image of the Galactic Council's chamber appeared. The once mocking faces of the council members were now filled with respect and admiration. Captain Hayes, the council leader said, his tone formal and reverent. Your actions today have demonstrated unparalleled bravery and resourcefulness. Humanity has earned its place among the stars. We extend our deepest gratitude and respect. Hayes inclined her head. Thank you. The Echo and her crew stand ready to defend our allies and explore the unknown. Together, we will continue to seek out the remaining artifacts to ensure they are used for the greater good. As the communication ended, Hayes looked around at her crew, her family. Set course for our next mission. Let's find those artifacts before they fall into the wrong hands.